right, what's up? What's up? It's 1:30 on Sunday, the final day of August 2025. Whew. Mm. Time is a wild thing, man. The more you get, the more you get under your belt, the more your relationship to it starts to shift. That's pretty interesting. And uh, music is such a kind of a microcosm reflection of life. We can see our characters and our development over time, shifting feelings, shifting contexts, different characters coming in, playing different roles, places where things seem totally set, predetermined, predictable, places where things seem very unpredictable, or you have a chance to improvise. And so I'm going to finish out this summer here, August 2025 as it is, with a session focused on modern jazz composition. This is, in many ways, kind of the crux of what I do as an artist, if you will. If we can excuse any pretension that term connotes. And I'm going to show you this brand new piece that I am debuting tonight with the Modern Jazz Quintet that I play in, where we all do original compositions. And it's called The Democracy here in Denver, Colorado. This is a piece that I decided to call Resiliency Under Threat. And it underwent some renovations at our rehearsal Friday night. So I'm using Muse score now, and I'm pretty happy with it. Sometimes I still handwrite charts, but for the most part, especially for something with many instruments, our band has trombone and saxophone. And for a more complex chart like this, I will definitely use a notation software. And so I want to talk about the difference between this and what you might encounter in a standard jazz tune. And then, like from the Great American Songbook, as we call it. And then also show you a tune that I'm actually releasing a recording of tomorrow, September 1st, that is very much more in that standard jazz composition framework. And then I thought maybe, if we have time, I'd just do maybe like 15 minutes and write a short excerpt of a composition spontaneously and kind of talk through how that goes. So in this piece, I very much have as a backdrop this aggressive energy, wanting to express something that feels like aggressive but positive, but also like very much this feeling, kind of angsty feeling that I've had for a while now, just in terms of larger social and political, emotional triggers that are going on for me. And, sometimes I feel very just committed to positive action and doing just what I can. Sometimes I feel very hopeless in the face of large things that there's absolutely nothing I can do about. And I think at my best, I'm able to use music to channel kind of chunks of that emotional charge into uh, emotional storytelling. And for myself, it's a release, and I think for audiences, it can really feel resonant in a way. So this one has that kind of shifting sands feeling, uh, and that's reflected um, in time signature changes, shifting harmony. I actually really wasn't sure even what key signature to use, and I decided on F minor because that's kind of the closest. The closest thing. In the end, it's kind of F Phrygian mode, which is very close to F minor, but with a flatted two, right? So we have the flatted two right there. And this becomes the backdrop harmonically for our improvisation section. And there's some semblances of hope in here and whatnot. So anyway, I'll just play and then we can talk about it. So it's like starts with 4 bars of drums, heavy swinging drums. In terms of the lineage of composition, this is really tying back to one of my biggest influences when I was coming up, which is Wynton Marsalis's record called Black Codes from the Underground. Also, like Chick Corea's 3 Quartets record. And there are a bunch of others that we could also reference, but and there's a lineage that those people go back through as well. But for me, those are 2 really pertinent influences on this style of composition, where we're not just doing an 8-bar A section, an 8-bar B section, an 8-bar A section, an 8-bar C, or AABA, or writing a rhythm changes or writing a blues. So, and obviously Wayne Shorter, right? All of Wayne Shorter's post 1960 work, especially album like Speak No Evil. So, for those of you who are students trying to get into this modern jazz composition thing, that's 3 records you need to go check out, especially my pianist friends. Go check out Black Codes from the Underground, Wynton Marsalis, 3 Quartets, Chick Corea, and Speak No Evil, Wayne Shorter. All right, so we get 4 bars of drums. It's about here tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. That's the head. And then we go into a solo section based around Phrygian harmonies and a sus chord thrown in there, because you got to have a sus chord for a little bit of hope, right? And for a little contrast. So when you go back to Phrygian, it's like, yeah, that's where we were. So we can talk about that solo section in a bit. Let's just break down the structure real quick. So this is a AAB form, but the B is twice as long as a traditional section. So in a way, we're kind of like a 4 4-section length head. Bop, 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 bop. A1, A2, B, that's like twice as long as a traditional B. Okay, so A1, non-traditional, starting with 4 bars of drums. And that happens on the DC when we come back to the top. Again, 4 bars of drums. Sometimes you would have maybe 4 or 8 bars of drums out front, but this one I intentionally built into the form. Once the melody actually hits, though, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. And we have 3 bars of 4. We have 1 bar of 5 and 3 bars of 6. Then we hit A2 and we have a little pickup, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars of A2. Totally could have said A2 starts after the pickup bar, in which case it could have been considered 8 bars. And again, this is one of the things now about modern jazz composition, where you actually make the structural considerations around what the music wants or what you want the music to be. I try to have a symbiotic relationship there, right? So what does the music want? The music wanted pickup right there. When I was parsing out some of the details of the song in a voice memo, I worked out this pickup. Was like, I definitely want to extend the melody the second time. The first idea was da ba ba do ba do do do, but I wanted to pick up into that ba do ba do do ba do ba do do the second time, and so we add a bar, and then I wanted to change the harmony. So instead of on the 6, it's so 1, 2, 3. So we come out of that 6 right back into a swinging 4. This is very modern composition style, right? Where we don't have to stick to a specific groove, not even a specific feel in the head, in the melody notes. I've written some of these phrases straight and then swing, and then straight and then swing. So like and then so straight, and then swung. That's swung. All right. Right here at the top of the B section, swung, straight. And then swung. And that's just like what's coming through me when I was working it out. And the process of writing this down is kind of can be tedious, because I'm like getting into the details, and realizing, oh yeah, I want this to be straight, I want this to be swung. When I recorded this on a voice memo, I didn't know what these time signatures were. It was a little bit looser, but then I decided as I was composing it, oh yeah, okay, that's actually a bar of 5. That's 6. So those things come from internalizing the language, from listening, and also from learning modern tunes and playing those tunes a lot, right? And playing other people's modern jazz compositions. And then it starts to become kind of a common language. Now, just speaking of influences also, some of these guys here, a little bit of a nod to Freddie Hubbard. In fact, I think that one of my students was working on Intrepid Fox, which has a similar thing with sus chords. Also, those chords change, the bass notes change. It's very hip. I didn't want to just exactly replicate it, but that was an inspiration to me to take that energy that's very aggressive and positive, and turn it into a piece. So I also have a little bit of an influence coming in here for sure, as I often do, from an incredible musician that I played with early in my career named Giovanni Terry, who's an alto sax, a multi-sax player, Shekere master. His father is a Shekere master from Cuba. And Giovanni, I think, is still teaching at Harvard, and just absolutely incredible musician and composer as well. And he was one of the first people who really taught me in a mentorship, almost apprenticeship way, how to compose rhythmically complex modern jazz. And so you can see this in the bass line here when we get out of the last progression. That's E, actually. All right, so we're really bouncing around the time. This isn't just a boom, ba-ding, boom, boom, ba-dum kind of groove, right? It's boom, 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 bing, bum, bum, ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, ah, go, go, dee, do, dee, oh, ba, 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 do, da, ah, ba, ba, boo, da, ba, 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 do, da, ba, 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 do, da. All right, so these rhythms definitely have a Latin tinge, kind of an Afro-Cuban tinge, but they're not exactly designed to fit in clave. I'm not going to play them on tuno. And we're going to have a drum solo over that bass line first. Then we're going to have a piano solo where we swing with Phrygian modes, right? Following these changes. So we'll get to the end, come into the piano solo. So there's a lot of details in here in terms of when we hit on 4 and when we hit on the and of 4 also. And also a couple of like and of 1, and of 4. Like when we get to the second ending here, going into the E, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, four. All right, so you can see there's a lot of specificity and some room because of the harmonic just blanketing for 4/8 bars at a time. It's fast, but still there's enough time to really kind of stretch out, maybe develop an idea, maybe play something in a patternistic way, utilize rhythmic motifs, and really like build something fun. after piano solo, we go to sax solo. And I built this solo form specifically in our rehearsal with our band collaboratively. So now I've written it out specifically for our band. Obviously, if somebody else were playing this tune, they'd do whatever they wanted to do. But that's the beauty of jazz. And also the beauty of modern jazz, where some of it is highly, highly specific, and some of it can be highly interpretable. That's not just modern jazz. Actually, one of the things about hyper modern jazz like this is that if you put your own interpretation on it, it can be harder to actually make that sound like legitimately cool because there's so much specificity in the composition. You go listen to like Michael Breckard's record Pilgrimage, right? His final record that's like so highly specific. It's hard to just take those tunes and not play them like that record. When we go back into the much further back Great American Songbook tradition, we can start to take some of those songs, which were the popular songs of the day, right? And really put a high degree of interpretive freedom into how we play those songs. So I want to bring up one of my originals now. And this is a tune called September Ballad that I am releasing publicly tomorrow. This is my PDF with the red in them. This is one thing I didn't love about Sibelius, is I got red things when I didn't fit into their box exactly, red chord symbols. But it happens in all notation programs. Anyway, so let's play this one for you, and I can talk about it. Piano alone on the first day, which is typical of standard jazz. Little rubato. Okay, let's just talk about that. Let's see if I'm going to be able to. Oh, darn, I'm not going to be able to play that from here. Start and stop. Darn it. Nope. Okay. Wonder if I could just share it. Okay, so let's just zoom in here and go to the A section. And you can see, so this tune is in E. I move around so much harmonically that I didn't even write a key signature in the chart. But really, the tune starts in the key of E. By the time we get to the oops, didn't mean to do that. By the time we get to the end of the chart, we've actually migrated to the key of D flat. So let's just examine this for a minute. And I want to look at the phrase structure with you, okay? And just talk about how you can build phrasing in composition that makes sense, right? So, bum 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 ba da 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 dee da. Okay, that's a phrase that makes sense, right? To me, it was one that just, quote unquote, just came to me as I was playing. But the chord progression itself then also is just a chord progression that makes sense, right? It's a 1, 6, 2, 5. Right? Now, in keeping with some of this modern jazz stuff, I have a highly specific move that I do here, which is a C13 sus4, and I'll just show you that real quick, the voicing. So 1-4-7 in my left, which I love playing a 1-4-7 and resolving it to the 3, the 4 down to the 3. And then these guys, so this becomes the 2-4-6-8. Who do we appreciate? Also, you could think of it as the 9-11-13 with the root on top. The 9 is going to go to a flat 9, and the 11 is going to go to a sharp 11. And we're going to keep this guy here, the 13. So this is a really great voicing for ballads, and just for jazz in general, jazz piano. So all my jazz pianists checking this out, I would highly recommend that you take this voicing, 1-4-7 in the left hand, 9-11-13, and the root on top. Yes, we're doubling the 4. That's fine. And that 11 is going to go up to the sharp 11, 9 down to the flat 9. And we're going to wind up with this shape in the right hand, and the 1-3-7 in the left. Depending on the key, you may definitely want to go in the 4-3 index finger to middle finger. You may just want to drop your index finger. You may just want to do it all with your middle finger. There's no right or wrong, whatever works for your hand. Depends on your hand size and the key that you're in, where the shapes fit well. Like if we're doing this in D, you definitely want index finger, middle finger. See that? But here, you could totally just slide a middle finger down or an index finger down. Okay. Now this is giving us 6, right? 1, 6. And the melody is here. And I know that's creating tension, but I was singing the melody. Ba-ba-dee-da. And so what I do oftentimes in the right hand to play that melody is bring this, and that extends the voice leading in there, right? And a sus4 on that B as well. Very similar, right? 1-4-7 in the B in the left hand, 9 in the 13. I'm not using the 4 or the sharp 11 here on this one, but I am going to the flat 9 when I go to the 3. And we're gonna move to E major 7 over G sharp here. Okay, now why not just the 1 chord or the 3 chord? What? That would be a typical 3-6-2-5, right? Well, this is modern jazz, and I love the 1 over the 3. It's one of my favorite sounds. I call these leading tone slash chords because they lead up they create a leading tone motion that wants to happen, but it doesn't always need to happen. So instead of going up, we're going to go to G minor, and it's going to have the E on top. Okay, so basically we are doing a 3-6-2-5, but now instead of the 5, I'm going to keep going down chromatically. So this is one of the main tools for me to, as a composer in modern jazz, is to make a choice and create an implication with that choice. Oftentimes it's a directional and or an intervallic, okay, distance implication. Now, we started going down chromatically. This is a great one to use: chromatic going down, chromatic going up. So instead of just going 3-6-2-5, we can go da 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 down chromatically, G flat minor down chromatically, and instead of using F7 to go to E, we're going to use F7 to go to B flat. Becomes the 5 and a pivot in a modulation. All right, so sus. And when you put that sus on there before the resolution of the dominant, it really creates that kind of the motion, what's the word I'm looking for? Not inertia, but yeah, the expectation to use this as a 5 chord. All right, and now I'm going to imply the same kind of motion of 1-6-2-5, except I'm going to change it up. So instead of going 1-6-2-5, I go 1-6 to the minor 7 flat 5, rooted on the tritone. And then what was the implication that I was already using was motion down a half step, right? So let's go down a half step again. And this time I could have a choice. We could have used a sus chord and used E flat as a 5, but instead I used E flat as a 2. And then repeat the same idea in this key. And we could have gone to F major, right? But I could feel this is about the end of our section, right? And this is where composing in a more standard style has those kind of lineage expectations, and we want to stay within some semblance of that, like AABA, 8 bars-ish. I'm already going past 8 bars, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is going to be our 9th bar, and it's going to take us back. All right, 1, 2, 2, 3, another thing here, the 4-bar phrase that completes itself and then moves into a new thing, right? So we have ba ba da be da dee da 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 dee da da, and then we're going to answer it da dee da da dee da 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 da. Okay, that's our 4-bar phrase. It's actually 2 2-bar phrases, really, right? And a 2-bar answer to a 2-bar beginning. Then ba 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 da ba da be da dee da. That's another 2-bar phrase. And we're going to use the next 2 bars to answer that, actually with a direct transposition. Ba 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 da 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 dee da dee da. And then there's a choice to be made here. Ba da dee ba ba. And this is where harmony is so fun, because there are actually quite a few possibilities right there. I thought going to F minor feels really good, and it feels like I could then go like modulate for the second A. We could go like right, and we could have done that. We could have gone to F minor, B flat 7, and modulated to E flat. But instead, I'm going to go and use the 2-5, F sharp to B to get us back to E. I'm going to make this smaller again and just play so you can see my hands doing it. I am adding an 11 in there. Thicken it up. Okay, and go on. Now, that was a deep, detailed dive. I'm just gonna walk you through a couple of the other choices that I made to change it up. So we go A, B, A. It's just an A, B, A tune. But on the second ending of the A, I add another bar, and that takes us into the bridge in a new key. So we go F minor, B flat. This time we do the 2-5. So you expect to go to E flat maybe, but I'm going to go even further. And with that A flat, I'm going to lead you into C sharp minor or D flat minor. I called it C sharp minor because I like thinking in C sharp minor for this section, for the beginning. And this is where I really start to depart from the just like traditional jazz sound. We're going to use a pedal tone. We're going to use some slash chords and some very modern harmony. Just a little bit here and there. Nothing too crazy, but a little bit crazy. So like right here, G diminished major 7 over C sharp. So we got the minor, and then F sharp minor over C sharp. And it's like F minor 7 over C sharp. So I'm basically using this very thick voicing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and transposing it down. And that is taking us to a new place. We're going to keep this voicing this kind of thing. But we're going to put it, instead of over C sharp, we're going to put it over C. And then over B. Sorry. Up a half step and F sharp minor finally, and this helps us get back to E. All right, so that bridge it's a creative bridge, right? It's a different thing, and I think this is where my influence from somebody like a Billy Strayhorn really comes in, right? Where it's like, hey, we're going to go to a totally different key, and maybe we're going to really change up the chord progression. Yeah, you can see that bridge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only 6 bars. So in a way, it kind of compensates for the extra bars. Whoop! Didn't mean to do that. The extra bars in the A sections. Then we go to our last A, and we have even more bars. Ba ba da dee da dee da 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 dee da, same. Ba da da dee da 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 da, same. Ba da 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 dee da dee, same. Ba ba da 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 dee da da, same. Then we have F minor to B flat, E flat minor to A flat, and resolution on D flat. And part of the vibe of this tune is like September, rainy day. It could be cozy, it could be sad, it could be like any number of kind of feelings, whatever your feels are that rainy day in September. And so I didn't put a chord symbol. It's D flat ... question mark. That is the chord symbol. And each time I play it, I try to play something unexpected. Although once in a while, I just play D flat major. Sometimes I'll play D flat diminished major 7. Sometimes I'll play major with a sharp 5. Sometimes I'll play it as an E flat over D flat chord. So it's a Lydian sound. Sometimes I'll play D flat minor. Sometimes I'll play D flat minor 6. And at the end of this recording is when it really becomes an adventure. And each time I play this, that ... question mark becomes a little bit of like a cadenza at the end, either solo piano or with a group. I did this duo and had an epic adventure with a saxophonist named Justin Vasquez a handful of years ago. That was really fun. Yeah, so and then there's a little B13 to take us back to the top if that's where we're going. All right, and that's this tune, A, but the first A section is 9 bars. The second A section is 10 bars. The B section is 6. And the final A section is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's a 9 bar A1, a 10 bar A2, and 11 bar A3. Yeah, so it's a fun tune. And I think, let's see. Yeah, I don't have anybody joining me live on Zoom. So that's going to give me a little extra time to be creative. Let's listen to this live. And as we go through that, I'm just going to pull out a piece of paper and maybe just see what inspiration hits. It's not a very long recording. And Yeah, and then we'll do some live composition. Go into the bridge. Ability of Drew Heller, drummer on this track, to read my mind is truly uncanny. He's just catching everything, and this is improv. He doesn't know. emphasis strategy. For a long time there was an emphasis strategy, and then call and response just a little bit. And we get back to the beat. We take the head out. So at the end of that little chromatic adventure over D flat, I wound up on what basically was like a D flat altered dominant. And so kind of used that as an altered dominant, and then went to the natural resolution point, which would be G flat minor 9. And I thought this would be cool over D flat, right? It would be dark, like just whatever. I play like something like that. We'll just finish like that. Something, whoops, take this out of the way, show you. Something like this. And I was thinking kind of, yeah. And Gonzalo added G flat in the bass, which is a really cool way to create something different out of that. Yeah, so that's September Ballad. And if you want to hear that, if you want to own that or hear it over and over again, or just once, without me talking, you can get it starting tomorrow, September 1st, live streaming everywhere. So let's take like 10 or 15 minutes. I've been on here for 54 minutes. So let's finish by an hour and 10. And let's just like do a little composition live. And I'll talk you through my process. Okay? So the first thing in my process will be having a pencil. And once I have a pencil, I can actually write. The next thing would be to think about an entry point. All right? Whenever I'm composing, I need an entry point. And an entry point could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be instrumental, like it could be specific musical idea. Let's think about let's think about breath and being present. I'm really thinking about three things as a framework for staying balanced psychologically and emotionally right now, which is grief, gratitude, and grit. Grief for all the things that are going on that I can't make better. Gratitude for all the things that are going on that I wouldn't want to change. And grit for all the things that I'm trying to make happen. How about if we focus on the gratitude and just breathing a little bit? I do a lot of grit, and honestly, I've been doing a lot of grieving recently. So let's focus on some gratitude. I think need some beautiful chords for gratitude, but oftentimes it's kind of tinged with a little bit of grief hanging on too. So yeah, that might come in. But let's go to like add two or sus2 and sus4. Is that too bright? This is, my hands wanted to do something big. I could take it smaller. I like that sound. I'm not thinking of this as a C major. I'm thinking of it as a G. Thinking I'm in the key of G at least. There's my 1/3 chord. I like that. Let's see. When you play an idea like that, it wants to be repeated. We could not repeat that. Like I could go somewhere else, but my first instinct is almost always to repeat an idea like that. And because if I go here, we set an expectation that once it goes somewhere else, we go back. Now we get a chance to fulfill that expectation or make it go somewhere new. The expectation would be A minor. The obvious expectation is here is D. And I'm not doing anything too crazy because I'm in gratitude, right? Like, I'm not trying to create a lot of tension, and I'm playing chord tones because I want to be settled. This is interesting. There's some tension in here. Looks like we stopped, and we're restreaming again. I don't know if that's going to create a whole brand new stream or just continue where we left off. But just for the sake of finishing this up, I'm going to keep going regardless. Ba-da-da-da-dee-da-da-da, 4. Ba-da-da-da-dee-da-da-da. I'm just gonna fit two bars into here. Okay. And that's 3 bars, or if you wrote it in 1, 2, then it would be 6 bars, but it really feels like 3 bars to me. So we got plenty more that we can develop here, right? Now, there would be an obvious choice to go back again, but actually, I want to go on here because I've already repeated that idea, and I want to go deeper into. Let's go deeper into gratitude. How can we go deeper into gratitude? We could go home to 1, or maybe we could go to the 4 chord, obviously, which is very kind of exalting and hopeful and whatever, but I'm not sure, even those might be a little bit cheesy. And I kind of want to go somewhere just a little deeper. Like, where could we go? I think the 4 is good. Yeah, okay, that's pretty obvious though. do up a minor third. Ah, interesting. Well, let's capture that because I like this. Da da, A minor 7, da D, and then D over C. Da, 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 and I'm going to kind of shorthand fast. Oops. A little too fast. E, F sharp, G, A. This is G over B to E minor. Da, 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 da. And then G over F. We have the possibility of a key change here. G sus4 to G. Yeah, I think that could do. Okay, and D. So we kind of work our way. This is 6 bars. And if I wanted to make this 8 bars, I think I would put a little extra tag on here. Right from the beginning. G over B. This is also G over B to E, like D over E. And a little fermata there. A little breath. want to go too much like a Super Bowl commercial. It's not. I don't want to do Hero right now. I want to do Gratitude. So. That a nicely placed 5 chord, just as a triad, is a beautiful thing because it really sits you down. You know. I think a repeat, maybe a second ending, would happen there. Yeah. Okay. So repeat the idea. And one of your options then is to continue and create a variation, an extension. Okay, we have the answer. And in a way, that's very much like that idea and answer framework that I used in September Ballad as well, right? And then new idea. Okay, back to our thing. That sits us down. And choice to make. Choice to make here. I think the first choice is to go back and repeat that section. And then maybe the second time is go on and do something else. Etc. Again, this is gratitude. It's a very, it's a very sweet place to be. It's not a place to create a ton of complexity. I already showed you my song Resiliency Under Threat, which is about aggressive feelings, and then September Ballad, which is like the complexity, the emotional nuance and complexity of a rainy day and the fall, and all the different directions that could go, and kind of homage to standard jazz and the tradition, and this gratitude song really has sat me in a different harmonic lineage, right, which is closer to pop. And I want to do something that's authentic to my feeling while also putting some craft on it and not having it land like a full-on, just like 1980s movie score by, what's his name, who did the cheesy family movie film scores. They're wonderful, but, I want this to become a piece that I could play with a trio or something like that. So, yeah, I love writing music like this. I actually write it quite a bit. That's more like pop or folk jazz, indie jazz. All right, y'all. But this was a lesson on modern jazz composition. Hope you get something out of this session with me, and that you can utilize your own creativity to express your own feelings. And if you want to connect with me further, make sure you go to peterjohnstoltzman.com, click on some links, and check out if you're a pianist, check out the new community that I have. It's called Inspired Contemporary Pianist. And we'll see you in person or online somewhere out here in the world. Take care, y'all.